Hello, everybody, and indeed, welcome to another edition of Who's Your Hometown Heroes. I'm Tony Val, and today my guest is Ward Walker. Ward is with Window Depot USA of Indianapolis. If you need windows in the Indy area, Ward is a great guy to know. And if you are a musician in Indy, you probably already know Ward very well. Ward is a great guy. Please now enjoy my conversation with Ward Walker. Who's Your Hometown Heroes is sponsored by Prometheus Consulting. Prometheus is Indy's most trusted name in outsourced IT support. Ward, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely, Tony. You're one of my buddies, so heck yes. All right,
Nice.
let's chat. What are we going to talk about?
Well, so here's the thing. I was thinking about it, and you are a many faceted person in a way.
Yes.
Very interesting. And so the question is, where do we start? And I think maybe the place to start with you, Ward, is Window Depot.
Yes.
You do such a great job of marketing yourself. You're kind of known around town as the window guy.
I am, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been in the window business?
This is coming on my 17th year, and I was with two of the biggest national chains, big corporate stores. And the owner of Window Depot, we just opened our 91st store. So we now have 91 locations nationwide. He wants to have 250 stores. He just turned 50 years old. He's an amazing man.
Wow.
So I've worked in the window business for corporate America. The owner of my company is family owned, and I absolutely love. I'm the only rep in the Indianapolis market, and we cover a 60-mile radius. We are a manufacturer's rep for an Amish firm in Ohio, so we're not a dealership. That kind of sets us apart. So I think it's actually been 17 years since I've been doing windows. And the reason I love it, as you and I have chatted, windows are not all the same. And there's so much misinformation about windows and doors that if you get someone like myself, I don't sell. I've been in sales 37 years. Nobody wants to be sold, including me. So I go in and I measure a window, I present my written warranty, and then the homeowner and we just chat. I listen to what they want. They don't necessarily need a Cadillac. They just want a Chevy. I'm a car guy. So I am known as the window guy. It's Ward the window guy. That's me.
Yes, and I enjoy your Facebook feed. There's so much cool stuff on there. A lot of music stuff, which we will get to.
Yes.
But of course, you also post your latest window customers. How do people find you? What does that funnel look like?
That's the beautiful thing. We don't spend in 91 markets. We've been around 22 years. We don't spend the average $400 in marketing costs that it costs for a window customer. We incentivize, if I do a great job for you and you refer me to someone at church or at work, we're going to give you a gift card in the mail, and it actually shows up when it's supposed to. So we do home shows. We were at the Indianapolis Home Show for 10 days. We're going to be back next weekend for the Flower. That's really our big push. We probably set 30 to 40 leads, appointments, and I'm working the show, and I'm the only sales rep. That's what I want everybody to know. I'm the guy. And I do have to talk about my installers. I have Steve and his son Luke have been with Ed 11 years in Indianapolis. So we don't use subcontractors. It's Steve and his son. And that's why we have 4.9 stars out of 5 at the Better Business Bureau. Trust me, that's not easy. And we do not hire contractors. These are Steve and Luke are my guys. So it's just me. I'm the only person that you'll deal with as far as sales. And then Steve and Luke, they measure everything that I do. So everything gets measured twice. We make very few mistakes. I make a mistake, but Steve catches it. So it's the way windows should be done, and it's because we're a family-owned operation. And we have the attention of the owner every day. So
that's very cool. Now, Ward, you will never remember this, I'm sure, but you and I had a conversation years ago. We were sitting around, I think probably at a church event,
Church, yeah, a fish
and
fry or something, right?
yeah, and you were telling me, you were saying, I'm addicted to sales. I'm just addicted to sales.
I,
You said, I remember it was a hot day. You said I was camped out on the Monon, I think, or one of the trails. I think it was the
handing out
Monon,
bottles of water.
handing out bottles of water and your business card.
I do
And
remember telling you that. Yeah.
that's amazing. Do you continue to do that? And I'm curious to dig in and hear what other creative ways have you found to promote
Sure.
yourself?
Well, cut to the chase. I graduated college in 1987 and I bought a McQuick's Oil Lube franchise at 23. So I was the youngest franchisee in America with McQuick's. I moved to Dayton, Ohio. So I was in my store for 20 years. That is the best way to learn retail. And I had a liquor store and I had apartment buildings. I did all my own maintenance. So I learned in retail, people don't want excuses and they don't want to be misled. I sold my business in '08 and I've been doing this ever since. So creative marketing, when I was out on the Monon handing out bottles of water, people just take a double. Not everybody's going to do that, but I love people and I love to earn people's business because I'm super competitive. And that means four other companies didn't do as good a job as we did. And it's basically whoever explains the process and proves in writing what you're going to do. It's not about price, but let's talk about that. We have 91 stores. I'm selling a Cadillac quality, window at Chevy prices because we have 91 locations. We buy millions and millions of dollars and we don't advertise. So all that savings passes on to my homeowner. So yes, the other thing is the Facebook page has been amazing. What I do, folks, is I take a selfie with new clients. I always ask their permission. And I've had so much joy because I'm smiling, they're smiling. And the owner of my company, now that we have 91 locations, he's recommending all the guys do this. It's, social media can make or break you. And we've earned the right to brag about what a great job my installers do. And I do a good job. So, and here's the other thing, Tony. I call it the grocery store test. If I sell windows to a client and I have to avoid their eyes at the grocery store, I did something wrong. And I don't, I'm a church guy. I met you at church.
Yeah.
I really do believe if you are upfront with people and honest and you admit, yeah, hey, we made a mistake, they don't care. It's when you start lying or making excuses. So
100%.
I will be in sales forever. I've been in sales 37 years. I can't even imagine doing anything else.
And you love it. And you love it.
Absolutely. I'm obsessed. The owner of my company told me I cannot work on Saturday. I worked 6 days a week for 37 years. He will not allow me to work on Saturdays, which I love. Although I did run 2 appointments this last Saturday. So if you need to see me on Saturday, I'm coming. But he is looking out for I have a balance with my family, my kids, my music career, and my church. My owner understands guys like me will work and work unless you rein me in. So
yes, very interesting. Well, so speaking of music,
yes,
I think a common thread through your life, Ward, is you seem to spend your days with things that you're very, very passionate about, and music is a huge passion for you. How did you get started in music?
That's an interesting question. I moved to Dayton, Ohio, and it took 3 months to build my first Quick Lube. And I didn't know anybody. So I went out every night and I just listened to bands. And I'll tell you, I watched a band in Dayton, Ohio in 1988 called Bongo Bay. And of course, I went up and met them, became their friend. I went out the next day and bought a set of bongos because I knew I had rhythm because I can dance. And the rhythm was in my soul and it came through my hands. So I had my first professional paid gig in 1990 at a small little, it's in Kettering, Ohio. I'll never forget it. It was a former Pizza Hut. and I started playing with an amazing musician. Make a long story short, I joined a band. We got discovered. We won a Battle of the Bands. We did a college tour. We got endorsed by Jägermeister and Budweiser, blah, blah, blah. That time, my music career started in Dayton, Ohio. I literally toured and played until I was 40 years old.
Wow.
And that was a long time ago. And I'm still, I bet you right now I'm playing with a half dozen bands. I'm a percussionist and I play with anybody that needs me. I'm helping a bunch of young singer-songwriters get their feet wet. I have a booking agent that I've been bringing her talent. So absolutely, when at the end of my life, and I'm on my deathbed, and I'll be grateful for the life I've led, music has been a huge part, huge. So
Beautiful. Now, did you ever have lessons or did you just start playing?
no, I can't read a stick. I'm ignorant as far as music theory. I can't read a note, but I had an artist and I have a home studio here. I had a young gal last night that we were practicing. She's like, how do you know? I said, I just feel it. It's hard to
Mm.
explain, but people that are out there that are musically, they get it. As long as I can see your strum hand, if you're playing the guitar, I can play with anybody.
Mm.
Um, I've learned to play piano by ear. I play guitar, but my gift is rhythm and timing and learning when to not play. And I'm just fortunate. I think I was born that way.
Yes. Getting back to church,
Yes.
um, yeah, I first heard you play at church at St.
Yes.
Pius.
Yes.
And, there's something about a Catholic mass. Let's face it, it's a little it's a little
Traditional.
reserved. It's very
Yes.
traditional, a little reserved.
But you remember
And
what happens when I walked in, right?
yes, you playing the cajon, right? Is that what
Cajon.
it
Yes.
cajon?
Cajon
It
is my baby.
it
Right.
really added
Yeah.
something to the service. I really enjoyed it. That was my introduction to Ward Walker.
Well,
And
and meeting Tony there and the family was a blessing. But I remember that because I'd been sitting in the audience for a couple years, and the first time I played, I was not nervous because it was faith called, but the energy that I brought just it was infectious. And if you remember, the Saturday night became a super popular contemporary, not because of the drum, but it just the energy shifted. And that's what music does. So no,
yes, for sure.
I've continued to play at church almost every Sunday. And my little church just got bought out by a mega church. So I'm in between music ministries. I consider myself a music minister only because I'm part of a faith band. And so I'm kind of, I'm not sure where I'm going to land. So yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. If there's any church people out there that need a good percussionist, I'm available.
Yeah. Now, I did not realize that you play piano. I've heard you play guitar.
Not like you, Tony. I've heard you. Yes, this man, Tony, this guy is amazing. Let me rephrase that because you're a true piano player. I'm writing songs on the piano, even though I don't know what the keys are, because I can hear it. And the
Yeah.
problem is, I'll have real musicians, and they're like, "Oh, that's a C, that's an F." So I went out and I bought the stickers that you put on the ivories,
Yeah.
and that solved the problem. So I prefer to write my. I write mostly Christian music, and I perform. That's a whole nother story. But now I'm able to write on the piano, which has opened up a whole new avenue for me. So
Wow, that's fascinating. Now, I'm very similar in that I can't read a note.
oh, you're kidding. Okay.
No. And it's interesting. That's always been it's a big regret of mine, actually. I was just telling my son Lewis the other day, and
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way, Ward, I have to share with everyone. My son Lewis and I went to see you play at a songwriter night. I
Right.
think at Books and Brews
Books and Brews in Brownsburg. I love that.
in Brownsburg.
Yeah.
And you very graciously invited him up on stage. He played the cajon with you. I couldn't
He
believe
was
it.
great.
Wow.
This ain't no dress rehearsal. One chance is all we get. So give it your best shot, keep moving on. Time, as you know, it will soon be gone.
That really, he was just so tickled.
And you know, I tell you, he's got rhythm. Because
Yes,
I don't think rhythm can be taught. I think you either have it. He definitely has. He has great rhythm. If you remember, he was very comfortable
yes.
playing him.
He was kind of
Yeah.
confident. I was
And
very
and if I
surprised.
remember, I said, "Hey, Dad, you know, birthday and Christmas. I think did you go get him a cajon?"
Yes, yes,
Nice.
I did. Yep, we
Well,
went
I'll share.
picked one up.
Friday night, I was playing with a singer-songwriter at this beautiful little restaurant in Noblesville, and we never played there before. There was a mom with two young boys, and I invited the 10-year-old boy on break. He had never played drums, and he sat down on my cajon, and the kid has amazing rhythm. So his mom is going to go buy him a drum, and an elderly gentleman said, "You know, the cool thing is you just passed on music to a whole new generation. That's what I love about music. After I'm long and gone, I'm up in heaven, the music will always continue. It always will."
For sure. Now,
So,
getting back to piano for a second,
yes.
it's interesting. As I said, I'm untrained, and that's always been it's been a roadblock for me, or it's just something that makes me nervous. And
But I've heard you play. You're amazing.
well, thank you. But what I was going to say is kind of jam sessions like you do at your home.
The Tribe Jam. Yeah.
Yes, the tribe jam sessions. Something like that terrifies me because if do people say things like oh, this is in the key of D or something like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
See, that's
So,
meaningless to me.
okay, then I have a young man named Dustin who comes. He is the most amazing keyboard player literally on the planet, and he plays strictly from ear, as
Wow.
you do. So you need to come to the jam session because I have professional, you know, we've had saxophone players, mandolin players, violin players, drums, bass. It's once a month, and I started it 4 years ago, and I called it the Tribe. We started with 6 of us. 2 weeks ago, Saturday, 40 people here. I've had 60 people, and the musicians are they're reaching out to me on Facebook that I've never met, and I invite them to my home studio, and I've met the most amazing friends. Amazing. So you need to come over and play some keys.
You know, I would love to. Would
So
love to.
we would start out in just a slow blues, and you would just noodle around and you would figure it
Yeah,
out. And then I like to improv on vocals. So we make up songs all the time, and then people will do their own songs. So
that's
we'll
so
chat
cool.
about that, but you need to come.
Yeah, I've watched several of your videos on
Oh,
Facebook, several of the snippets of those sessions, and
yeah.
it's really
It,
wonderful what
it
you're
is
doing.
really, and the funny thing is, half of the people that are at my studio each month are window customers that have become close friends, and I truly mean that. Somebody asked 2 weeks ago, Saturday night, if you bought windows from Ward, raise your hand. And half the people in my studio and my kitchen and my dining room, half of them raise their, and I'm like, I didn't know any of these people 4 years ago. It's been fun. And
You know, that's part of your magic word. That's part of your mystique. You have that. You know what I think? I think you love people. I think you
I do.
truly
I
love
do.
people.
I learned in retail 20 years of being at my Quick Lube 6 days a week. People want to be treated like a real person, not a customer. And
Yeah,
that has served me well in the window business. There's a couple hundred window dealers in Indianapolis alone. And you know, everybody gets two or three quotes and they all say, "Ward, I don't feel like you're trying to sell me." And I'm like, "I've been doing this 37 years. I don't have to." But it's you got to generally like people. And I have an amazing boss. I have an amazing product. I got the best installer. So it's easy. It's good stuff.
very,
So
very nice.
between the job, the music, my art, my family, I got a blessed life. I do.
Yes, you're living the life for sure. We all can learn from it.
Well, yeah.
Well, if is there how can people follow up with you? Maybe if they're interested in windows or your
Absolutely.
music, what's the best
Well,
way to find you?
well, the Window Depot, Indianapolis. We have this. We have one office. It's in the Avon, Indianapolis market, and we cover 60 miles. They can obviously Google Window Depot, Indianapolis, and it will take them to a link, and they'll talk to Dottie, and they'll set an appointment for me, or reach out to me on Facebook. My name is Ward Walker, and I will accept your friends. I have all my music and my business all on my Facebook page, as you know, Tony.
Yeah.
And trust me, I post a lot. I got
Yes,
to
you
tell
do.
a quick little story. I have a new client, Lisa, who's used me twice in 3 months. She introduced me. I bought a frother for my coffee.
Mm,
It's changed my life. I just sent her a text I said, the coffee frother. I didn't know what she was talking about. I bought one, and now my coffee tastes like it. And that's the relationship that I make. And of course, she's coming to the jam session next month. But yeah, it's
wonderful.
Window Depot or Ward Walker on Facebook. And I promise people I will respond, and this is who I am. And here's the other thing. I can come and do a 30-minute presentation, and most of these guys or gals are there hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't have time for that. You don't want me at your house for 3 hours. So that is 17 years of doing this every single day. I can run 5, 6 appointments a day. And I just cut to the chase. Your time's valuable. And
Wow.
I'll come at 6 o'clock at night, but I'm going to tell you, I'm hungry and I'm tired. And they're like, great, you'll be out here. And I'm like 6:35 on the nose because I get to go home and have dinner. But enthusiasm is the key to life, Tony.
Yeah, well, you've got it. You've got it in spades. And you've shown it here on this episode. I can't thank you enough for joining us on Who's Your Hometown Heroes today.
I'm so grateful to have gotten to know you, and thank you for the invitation. And tell your boy to
Absolutely.
keep playing that drum.
We'll have you back for sure.
I would
Thank
love
you.
to. Thank you, Tony.
Got it.
Bye-bye.